will, oh my goodness, I will hunt you down. I'm threatening you. Yes, this is a threat. If you try to say anything discouraging to this person, if you try to make any negative comments, yes, you can say you can do this a little bit better, or like, how about you try this again, if they ask for feedback. Otherwise, if you dare discourage this person, whoever they are, while they're just having fun and trying to doodle, trying to have a good time, or just mindlessly creating something, you're gonna see what I do, okay? Okay, I went back to making flashcards because I was overthinking making these videos again. But here I am, and although I haven't been making videos for the past month, it has been a productive month. The main point of today is to talk about drawing. I mean, I know there's so many videos like this out there. There's classes, there's all sorts of things about, yeah, you can draw, yeah, anyone can draw, and blah, blah, blah. But you guys, I mean it. I mean it. Last week has proven to me, or what was yet another evidence to me, that a whole lot of people out there feel like drawing is this mythical ability, this niche, this exclusive thing that only a few of us get to behold, and a few of us get to possess and, you know, be able to do. And it's just so frustrating to watch, because I know it comes easy from someone who, you know, does this professionally, or, you know, gets paid to draw. Someone left a comment in my last video, where they recommended a channel. I'm gonna link him here, or have him in the video screenshot. And he talked about how singing became like that in a way. Like the church was the last place where commoners or people just sang, you know, people didn't overthink it. They didn't sing because they were singers. They sang because they were human beings, he said. I'm paraphrasing, but he said something of that sort, along those lines. And I feel like it's similar in drawing. You know, I feel like you don't draw because you're an artist, or because you're an architect, or someone who does it professionally. You draw because you're a human being with thoughts and ideas and creativity. I mean, I've probably said this before, but I really believe that we inherited a lot of what our creator has. We are his image bearers. We've inherited his qualities. So we want to make things intrinsically. We want to create, and we want to express ourselves and turn whatever thought or idea or weird thing in our mind into an actual thing. Anyway, I'm gonna get right to it. In the past week, I turned a big 4 meter by 1.5 meter paper into a big mural of sorts. It was a meeting, and I was supposed to listen to what they were talking about and what was going on, and somehow translate all of that into a visual snapshot, so that, let's say, someone who wasn't even there in the meeting that day wouldn't be looking at it as like a proper formal report, but it would kind of be like a visual snapshot. It would be like okay, so this was the gist of what was talked about yesterday and what the energy was like yesterday. I even included like audio, the translators, and the ones who were doing live translation. And we included those, you know, like I had my sister with me, and so she would spy and tell me some interesting bits that I would like to include, or it was fun to include. And she'd be like, you know, you can include the translation booth, and you can include, she would get me dessert, and we would have our favorite dessert, and be like, okay, this is good dessert. And there was fresh orange juice that was actually freshly squeezed. It's like that orange was still alive. And it was those details that I think were memorable things from the meeting. But of course, there were also the main meat of the meeting. There was the people in attendance, the quotes, some even, I drew a few of the people in attendance, a few of the people who made speeches, some of the main points, the running themes, the focus points that kept coming up over and over in different people's speeches, and things that were concerning people, or things I felt were restrained. This was kind of a final meeting kind of thing. It was a goodbye meeting. So there was a lot of sadness. I felt like there was some restrained feelings as well. So I tried to capture that. I tried to include those in very big, bold phrases, words. And so it was, yeah, that's the gist of what a graphic recording is. It's a recording, but it's neither audio recording, it's not a photographic recording, it's an illustration, it's an artistic expression, interpretation of what occurred. Another graphic recorder would come up with something completely different probably, or there would be some similar things that we catch, but they might do something or interpret the whole event in a different way, let's say. This transformation apparently was really impressive to many people, and a lot of people came up to me and shared their reflections with me, and they were like, how did you do this? Like, what is this? How did you know, we saw this paper was blank when we got into this room, and now it's like, has like, some people were like, oh, that's what I said, or, you know, this was the gist of what I was talking about on my speech, and oh, you drew this person, or oh, that was an interesting way of capturing the gist of what was expressed by this person. So it was really hard for me to answer this question, one, because I was actively working, I was doing the graphic recording, and two, I was, I don't know what to say, you know, I don't know how to say that it's the culmination of all the strange niche habits and things that I've been doing that led to me being able to do this. You know, I didn't get a formal training for this. There were books that I referred, and I had a friend who lent me books that were specifically focused on creating graphic recording like this, and I watched videos on how to do like good lettering on large scale, for example, or how to do quick faces, or try to combine different colors to make it have a good result at the end. So I've had references and everything, but more than that, it was my training in architecture school. It was the fact that I grew up writing big happy birthday postcards and signs and like big charts for my family and I, and also the analysis that I did in university or in English classes in high school were, you know, I think helped me be able to summarize what was being talked about and to be able to take a speech that was 5 to 10 minutes long and summarize it into 2 or 3 main phrases or points that can be somehow more catchy or just capture most of what intrigued me personally. So when people asked me this, it was like, I don't know, I thought about all the fruitless endeavors that I went on and all the things that I thought, okay, I'm gonna be good at this one specific thing, and I'm gonna be at this one, or I'm gonna make this my thing, like this drawing style, whether it's acrylic painting or it's oil painting or sculpture or whatever. So starting from when I was a teenager or a kid really, but it never really worked out, and I would be discouraged, or I would completely reset my life in a way. For example, when I moved to this country, and I would be like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be this kind of artist, I'm not going to be this kind of visual artist, okay, that's sad or whatever. But then none of that was a waste, you know, I don't know, none of that was useless now. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of the people who approached me when they were, you know, talking about, oh, how do you do this, or what is this about, or I could never do anything, I can't even put pen to paper or whatever, I'm just like, you don't know what set of skills or what set of things you've done that can help you do this and even better and even more. Or I don't know why they've completely shut off drawing as an avenue or as a path for their imagination, for the manifestation of their imagination so early on, and they never want to reopen it, because it's like, if you don't develop this as a kid, you're never gonna get it right, kind of thing. I don't know why, like, there's that, even though like we learn how to bake, we learn how to do all sorts of things as grown-ups, but I'm still not good at a lot of kinds of drawing. For example, I'm not really good at making portraits yet, and ahead of this event, I was practicing making portraits, and I was practicing how to capture the essence of a face. Like, that's one of the things I really envy people who can do. I know it takes a lot of practice, and you know, a lot of people have probably dedicated many hours into making this happen, but it's still something that obviously I still can't do very well, and I think I got better in the lead up to this event, to this graphic recording session, but it's still something I can't really do, and I have a long way. This isn't false modesty, it's true, but I think I kind of know why. Partly there is this thing of some drawing goals are unattainable, you know? And it's like, I feel like more than anything, the main thing that I feel I am lucky and I'm blessed to still have is audacity. Is to have the guts to mess up a page, to look at a 4 meter by 2 meter page, poor tree that was wasted or, I don't know, sacrificed partly for making this paper. I look at it and I go, I can smudge and doodle and draw all over this. And I'm gonna do it right now. And I'll do it in the coming 3 hours or in the coming 6 hours or however long I'm gonna take. And I go ahead to it and I just do it, you know, I just pick up the marker. By the way, I got to use Neuland markers. Oh my goodness, they were as good as I expected, but I'm gonna get into that later. But I think the main thing that I didn't lose or I still have from childhood is this audacity or the guts to go ahead and mess up, and to go ahead and to make this big drawing or to potentially make a mistake just to start, you know. But I don't know, I don't think I'll ever be able to feel like a proper artist, but it's this audacity is something that I think I have, or I got to still keep since I was a kid, because I was indulged as a kid, and you know, I was given papers and pens and tools, and I would take a pen from my dad and I would, you know, just scribble down things and stuff. And when something that really hit me then is around this week, is because I was doing this drawing, like I also wrote down a timeline, like a big timeline chart. It was one of the exercises they needed for the event, and it was separate from the graphic recording. So it's more casual work, but there was another lady in the office who was there, and she was like, I told her, hey, come here. What color do you think I should do? It's not serious, but I just wanted to hear, because I was being indecisive about the colors a little bit, and I wanted her to help me make a decision. And there were like several colors that I wanted, like shades of pink and purple. And she picked a shade, and I was like, okay, how about you add like a tiny drawing, like a tiny doodle, something, a star, something, just to be like, oh, I did something there. Because again, this was a less serious part of the project, and it would have been nice to have a mark that she left and she seemed like a cool person. But this girl was terrified. She was like, I cannot ruin your paper, I cannot. And it was like, that wasn't the only time, you know, it wasn't just her, there were several people, even in the event, who they had, like the whole event, they were trying to focus on having a hands-on approach, on having people make things with their hands, you know. So they had these flip charts, and people would like write down in like large lettering. And I told this lady, she's not from here, she flew in here to participate in this event. And I was just passing by, and I was like, yeah, I have good penmanship. And she was like, what? No, I literally write like a child. She had this like visceral reaction, you know. She's like, I write like a child. And I was like, no, it's legible. And I mean, many can't. It's to me, that's the most important aspect of handwriting, especially when it's in a large scale like that. It's very legible. I don't know why you're saying that, you know, it's very consistent and legible, and this is a very uncomfortable position to write, and look what you're coming up with. Like, why do you have like such a negative, like, people are so uncomfortable with their handwriting, let alone drawing, you know, like people are so uncomfortable with making a mark on a paper and on doing creating any kind of stroke. And I don't know, it was so sad for me to see. I'm just like, what led to this? I don't know, that's kind of the question I come to, you know. It's like, what led to this? And the girl from earlier was like, I told her, like, you know, it's not like you're this destructive force that you grab a pen and you're gonna smudge the entire paper and you're gonna permanently ruin the entire thing that I did. You know, why are you so scared of, you know, doing something cute and participating in this? And she was just like, nah, I draw like my drawing is like a chicken's scribbles. And one, I never heard this expression, but she was like, it's something that a lot of Ethiopian teachers say to students. And when she said that, that kind of broke my heart. You know, it was just like, if someone told me this as a kid, I don't think I would be doing this today. I don't know. Like, if someone said what I draw looked like a chicken scribbling, first of all, what is up with that expression? It's just made me visualize, like, why, you know, does the chicken legs have paint on them and they like horizontally came on a paper and I don't know, just created those scribbles. Like, who came up with this expression? And like, second of all, why are people so brutal? You know, like, I don't know, just shutting down someone from when they're that young, I don't know, that just feels like permanently or contributing to permanently shutting down an avenue through which they can express their imagination and through which they can create or visualize things that probably don't exist yet, you know. And it just made me go, how many inventions and like ideas and everything were halted or slowed down because someone cannot sit down and develop their idea through simple sketches. Like, honestly, I think that any profession you do, whether it's, or most professions, whether it's law or medicine, teaching, cooking, you can do better, I think, if you can be a little more comfortable with drawing. Like, I really think that. So it's not even something that like only artists should be able to do, or like if you learn how to draw, like that's your one avenue, you know, you have to be a graphic designer or an illustrator or a graphic recorder or whatever, you know. I think it's something that whatever you do, it will enhance it. It will add spice to it. Like, you'll be able to to collaborate better. You can help others express their own ideas. You can brainstorm together. You can turn whatever thing you have in your mind into, yeah, you can write it, just try to describe it in words, but sometimes like there is something that's already manifested in your mind, you know, but it would be much easier or much cooler if you can immediately turn it into like an ugly sketch. But people are not even comfortable with their own handwriting, let alone like creating a sketch or creating a concept drawing or something. So that kind of broke my heart, you know. I hearing all those people in the event going, yeah, you know, do you provide training? My kid is interested in drawing, and I want them to be able to do this and to do something like this or to be better at what they're doing. And they're encouraging. I was encouraged by the fact that a lot of people approached me with that idea that they want to encourage their kid to pursue drawing, at least as an avenue of expression for them. So I thought this is something good that they're thinking about, that they're trying to foster this talent or the skill or whatever it is. I really don't believe that you need a talent to draw, because a lot of the solutions that we need in this world, and especially in this country, don't exist yet. And they are in the minds of a lot of the people who have repressed and cut off this side of themselves and this avenue. They don't even want to explore it. They don't want to think about it. So I don't know. The person, like one of the people who told me that his kid is interested in drawing and he does a lot of craft work and stuff, I told him, Steve, try to buy him a sketchbook. You know, a sketchbook with no lines, just a sketchbook or a journal with just blank paper, you know, nothing to guide him. So to me, that's a very good way of not being scared of the blank page, not being scared of having a pure, pretty, empty sheet and messing it up, you know. I feel like that's a very good thing to be able to get over since you're 9 years old. But if you're not 9 years old yet, like many of us are, again, I think that's a very, very good place to start, you know, to have a blank sheet of paper, or have even just get a bunch of A4 sheets. I made a video on how to make a sketchbook, a very simple sketchbook that you can just staple through the middle, have a hard cover, hard paper, cardstock paper, and just call that a sketchbook. That could be your starting point. It doesn't have to look clean, it doesn't have to look professionally made or whatever, but that's the charm of it. It's just a point for you, an extension of your language, an extension of your journaling or your ideating or how you process your thoughts. So I told him this can be a place where he can not just make drawings, like not just turn whatever things are in his mind and brain dump them and word vomit, but it can be a place for him to develop things over time, develop ideas, and I don't know, come up with, I don't know what this kid could do. I have no idea, like I've never met him. And I feel like all of you, honestly, have this endless potential as well, no matter your age. I don't know, maybe this is just another silly video you watch on YouTube, but I really hope you can pick up a tiny journal next time you go out, something that intrigues you, like something with a cute cover or something, just for you to like show off and like grab it around. It's cool to have a journal around with you. And find a pen that you like go into a stationery and find a pen that like probably has a thick point, an ink you like, maybe even like a pen set or something, and just start scribbling. Really, just start doodling, start making lines. Like if it's a blank sheet journal, just start making lines. If you don't want to buy it, or if you want to commit, buy a whole stack of A4 sheets, start stapling them. I made a video, I'm gonna link it below on how to make a sketchbook. Staple it and start really just scribbling on the first page. Write down your name in the first page and your phone number in case your sketchbook is lost. It's just a fun thing to assume that people will get back your sketchbook, they'll call you in case you lose it. And then start making lines, making shapes, making geometric things, and then probably write to-do lists. Probably start taking notes. Like, I saw a crow, or I saw crows today. There were crows on the tree outside my balcony. I'm gonna write about that. That's funny, or that was cool to watch. And I like how this tree looks. It has a very interesting trunk shape. I'm gonna try to sketch that down while I wait for this person who's late to, for our lunch or for our coffee or whatever. Or I'm gonna try to draw my future house. I don't know, the silhouette of what it would look like. Its side elevation. I wanted to have a tree like this beside it. I wanted to have this kind of window or this kind of door. It's a really cool place or a cool way to keep your imagination open and keep processing thoughts and ideas and feelings and take notes and being a chronicler of your time and of your place and of the events in your life, Of course, this doesn't stop me from feeling like I'm not a real artist or whatever that is. I don't believe in defining ourselves by what we do. So it's something that I think, yeah, we do it. Yeah, I draw, I write, all of that, but it's one of those toxic things from architecture school as well, where people really make being an architect their whole personality. They're like, architecture is a lifestyle. I'm an architect this, architect that. I'm like, yeah, it's a cool thing to do, I guess, but it should not define a human being. I don't know, I don't think anything should define the essence of our soul or whatever. And so, I don't know, I find that a little silly. But regardless, I really hope that you get into drawing a little bit, doodling, whatever you call it, illustrating, brainstorming visually, whatever it is. I hope that you try it out, try it out. What's the worst you can do? Completely ruin a few pages. And then I think as long as you get comfortable with your handwriting, maybe creating simple diagrams, creating, I don't know, something that you can do over and over again, and then starting to try on another thing and another thing and another thing, and like, don't limit yourself based on like what you do as a profession. It's something that I think is a very sad thing to shut off as an avenue in our minds and in our ability. And I think you really don't know how much or how far you can go with it, and how much fun and how much cooler it would make whatever it is that you do. So yeah, if this video led to you buying a stack of papers or a sketchbook or a journal, I'd be happy, and I hope you let me know in a comment somewhere, or I don't know, if you come across me in real life, maybe someday. And if you have a kid or a cousin, a younger niece, nephew, whatever, and you see them try to draw, or like maybe even someone who's not a kid, someone your age or something, I will, oh my goodness, I will hunt you down. I'm threatening you. Yes, this is a threat. If you try to say anything discouraging to this person, if you try to make any negative comments, yes, you can say you can do this a little bit better, or like, how about you try this again, if they ask for feedback. Otherwise, if you dare discourage this person, whoever they are, while they're just having fun and trying to doodle, trying to have a good time, or just mindlessly creating something, you're gonna see what I do, okay? So, and please, even to yourself, don't do this negative talking to yourself either. And I hope that this threat works a little bit. And yeah, thank you for spending the past however long with me. I hope you're abundantly blessed, and bye.